Side. You should sit closer. This is not for amplifying. This is for the internet. No. It's not meant to make it loud. This is for loud so it goes on the internet loud. You have to sit closer if you cannot hear. I'll speak loud. Okay. So we'll start off with sing this song, and we always sing on Sundays before we read Caitanya-caritamrita. Udila aruna pura bavaje dvijamani gora amani jage. Vakata sangmuha loya sate gela nagara vraje. Tattai bhajalako ganaganata he janjera. Preme dala dala sonara anga charane nupura bhaje. Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bore. Miche Nida Bashe Gelore Rati Divasa Sharira Saje. Emana Durlabha Manavate Hopayaki Koro Bhavana Keho. Ebina Bajile Yashoda Sutta Charame Puri Velaje. Urita Tapana Hoile Asta Dina Gela Bole Oi Vyasta. Tabe Keno Ebe Alasa Hoi Nabaja Hridoya Raje. Jivana Anitya Jana Hasar Tahena Navida Vipadavar. Namashraya Kori Tatane Tu Mitakaha Apana Kaje. Jivera Kayana Sadhana Kam Jagate Asiye Madhuryanam. Avidyattimira Tapana Rupe Hridgagane Viraje. Krishna Namachudakoriyapan Jurayo Bhakati Vinoda Pran. Nama Vina Kichu Nahiko Arocho Dabhuvana Maje. Okay. This week we'll just read the English translation because we always run out of time with questions. So it's just when a tinge of red on the eastern horizon heralded the sunrise, the jewel of the twice-born Lord Gaurasundar immediately awakened. Taking his devotees with him, he went all over the countryside, visiting towns and villages of Nadia. The mridangas resounded, tat-tai, tat-tai. The cymbals chimed in time, and Lord Gauranga's footbells jingled as his golden form trembled slightly in ecstatic love of God. Lord Chaitanya called out to the townsfolk, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouths with the vibration of the holy names, Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, chanting without offense. You have achieved the rare human body. Don't you care for this gift? If you do not serve the darling of Yashoda now, great sorrow awaits you at death." Each time the sun rises and sets, a day passes and is lost. Then why do you remain idle and refuse to serve the Lord of the heart? Understand this essential fact. Life is temporary and full of all kinds of miseries. So take shelter of the holy names as your only business. Desiring to bless all souls, the sweet name of Krishna has descended to this material world and now shines like the sun in the sky of the heart, destroying the darkness of ignorance. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name of Krishna and thus satisfy the soul of Bhakti Vinod. There is nothing but the holy name within all the 14 worlds. Okay, so we're continuing with our reading from the Sri Caitanya-caritamrita. This is chapter Adi Lila, chapter 2. The chapter is called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who walk the paths of knowledge and yoga worship only Him, for it is Him they perceive as the impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. This is going to be set up ahead of time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. It's verse 26. Chapter 2, verse 26. Purport. There are those who are fond of mental speculation, jnanamarg, or want to meditate in yoga, mystic yoga, to find the absolute truth, must approach the impersonal effulgence of the Lord and his partial representation respectively. Such persons cannot realize the eternal form of the Lord. Number 27. Thus one may understand the glories of the Lord through different modes of worship, as the example of the sun illustrates. Oh, sorry, the sound's not showing. Okay, let's try that. Oh, that's why. Okay, that should do it. So you want to speak the last translation you just did? Do it again. The volume was plugged in the wrong place. That was 27. Now we're going to 28. That's 27. Okay. Okay, 28. Narayan and Sri Krishna are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, but although they are identical, their bodily features are different. (29) The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has 2 hands and holds a flute, whereas the other, Narayan, has 4 hands with the conch wheel, mace, and lotus. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Narayan is identical to Sri Krishna. They are in... okay, one sentence at a time. Narayan is identical to Sri Krishna. They are in fact the same person manifested differently, like a high court judge who is differently situated in his office and at home. As Narayan, the Lord is manifested with four hands, but as Krishna, he is manifested with two hands. Verse number 30. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. You are not, therefore, my father, Narayan. Narayan refers to one whose abode. You are not, therefore, my father. This is a question. Are you not, therefore, my father, Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water, born from Nara, or Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They're absolute and are not created by Maya. Srila Prabhupada's purport. This statement which is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 14th verse, was spoken by Lord Brahma in his prayers to Lord Krishna, after the Lord had defeated him by displaying his mystic powers. Brahma had tried to test Lord Krishna to see if he were really the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing as a cowherd boy. Brahma stole all the other boys and their calves from the pasturing grounds, but when he returned to the pastures, he saw that all the boys and calves were still there, for Lord Krishna had created them all again. When Lord Brahma saw this mystic power of Lord Krishna's, he admitted defeat and offered prayers to the Lord, addressing him as the proprietor and seer of everything in the creation, and as the supersoul who is within each and every living entity and is dear to all. That Lord Krishna is Narayan, the father of Brahma, that Lord Krishna is Narayan, the father of Brahma, because Lord Krishna's plenary expansion, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, after placing himself in the Garbha ocean, created Brahma from his own body. Mahavishnu in the causal ocean, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the supersoul in everyone's heart, are also transcendental expansions of the supreme truth. (31) After Brahma had offended Krishna by stealing his playmates and calves, he begged the Lord's pardon for his offensive act, and prayed for the Lord's mercy. Verse 32. Which is a quote, I took birth from the lotus that grew from your navel. Thus you are both my father and my mother, and I am your son. Parents never take seriously the offenses of their children. I therefore beg your pardon and ask for your benediction. Sri Krishna said, O Brahma, your father is Narayan. I am but a cowherd boy. How can you be my son? Verse 35. Brahma replied, You are not Narayan. You are certainly Narayan. Please listen as I state the proofs. (36) All the living beings within this material world, material and spiritual worlds, are ultimately born of you, for you are the supersoul of them all. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The cosmic manifestation is generated by the interaction of the three modes of material nature. The transcendental world has no such material modes, although it is nevertheless full of spiritual variegatedness. In that spiritual world there are also innumerable living entities who are eternally liberated souls engaged in the transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna. Three kinds of suffering? I think you read ahead of me. Threefold miseries. Okay. Threefold miseries. Adibhotic, adiatmic, and adidaivic. Adibhotic. Adibhotic means miseries caused by other living beings, like insects and animals and so on. Adibhotic. Adidaivik means by the miseries caused by the demigods or by basically by nature. Adidaivik. For example, if in the summer it becomes very hot, there's too much heat, that's adidaivik misery. Or or during hurricane season, sometimes we become harassed by we get hit by a hurricane. That's adidaivik. Huh? Adi. This one is adidaivik. Adidaivik. It's a Sanskrit word. Divik. Adidaivik. Adidaivik means miseries caused by, basically it's miseries caused by the demigods. That's adibotic. Yeah, adibotic means miseries caused by other living beings. Adidaivik is natural disasters and natural, too much heat, too much cold. Okay, and there's a third one. Third one is called adiatmic. Adiatmic misery means it's caused by our own body, our own mind. Yes, three kinds of miseries in the material world. Okay. Any other questions while we're here? We can. Okay, so we continue on. And anyone who's watching online can, if you type in a question while we're having the class, then I can respond to that too. Okay, number 36. All living beings within this material and spiritual worlds are ultimately born of you, for you are the supersoul of them all. It's number 36. Verse number 36. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The cosmic manifestation is generated by the interaction of the three modes of material nature. The transcendental world has no such material modes, although it is nevertheless full of spiritual variegatedness. In that spiritual world, there are also innumerable living entities who are eternally liberated souls engaged in the transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna. The conditioned souls who remain within the material cosmic creation are subjected to the threefold miseries and pangs of material nature. They exist in different species of life because they are eternally averse to transcendental loving devotion to the Supreme Lord.
Они вынуждены рождаться в разных телах, ибо навеки отвернулись от трансцендентного преданного служения Всевышнему.
Sankochan is the original source of all living entities because they are all expansions of his marginal potency.
Sankashan is there like extension of Krishna.
Yeah, he's one of the expansions. Sankochan, Aniruddha, Pradyuta.
What was their role they are doing?
It says here, Sankochan is the original source of all living entities. So,
Господь Санкаршана является источником всех живых существ, поскольку они порождены его ограниченной энергией.
Because they are all expansions of his marginal potency.
Одни из них обусловлены материальной природой, а другие под покровительством духовной природы.
Some of them are conditioned by material nature, whereas others are under the protection of the spiritual nature.
Материальный мир – это обусловленное проявление духовной природы, потому что как жизнь – это обусловленное состояние огня.
The material nature is a conditioned manifestation of spiritual nature, just as smoke is a conditional stage of fire. Huh? Smoke is dependent on fire, but in a blazing fire, there is no place for smoke. Smoke disturbs, the fire serves. The serving spirit of the residents of the transcendental world is displayed in 5 varieties of relationships with the Supreme Lord, who is the central enjoyer. In the material world, everyone is a self-centered enjoyer of mundane happiness and distress. One considers himself the Lord of everything and tries to enjoy the illusory energy, but he is not successful because he is not independent. He is but a minute particle of the energy of the Lord Sankrshan. All living beings exist under the control of the Supreme Lord, who is therefore called Narayan. Okay. Number 37. As the earth is the original cause and shelter of all pots made of earth, so you are the ultimate cause and shelter of all living beings.
yesterday program.
Yeah.
Today program.
Hmm.
Today we said Sunday, November 2nd.
Yes. So, okay, well, I was here yesterday too. Any questions? Questions, Jackie? Okay. So, and no one outside is saying.
Like yes, the short code the yes is the original code and shorter code was made from shell.
Okay, I think we'll have to end here for today. Unless there's any questions.